Hi, my name's Susan Pasco. I'm the Executive Director of Clarington East Food Bank.
And I'm Daniel Thertell. I am the founder of Thertell Tech.
About 3 years ago, we decided to move towards a shop-in model, and we came to this beautiful space in the Anglican Church. One of the challenges we faced in the shop-in model was, how did you put limits or determine how much that a family could take home? We went to several other food banks and evaluated their systems, and a few used a point-based system. And we decided that that would be the fairest and most equitable for our neighbors. Each family gets so many points. The base value is 40 points, and we go up in increments of 10. We decided to color code everything so that a green basket means it's 1 point. A red basket means there's a limit. A yellow basket means 2 points, because that helped to break down any barriers with our neighbors. Dan was a volunteer with us, and since he was in the tech field, he felt there's a lot of room here for technology.
A lot of things are modern, a lot of things are digital nowadays, and food banks shouldn't be lagging behind. We should be able to build them up and make them better pillars of the community. As a software engineer, I saw an easy gap to fill where we could modernize and digitize the Clarington East Food Bank and other food banks who were interested in it, allowing them to easily adopt a point-based shopping model that will allow them to see a lot of additional data, really help with the volunteers, and really help with the board members, like you said, giving them that easy visibility into how much is going out. So I took a few years, worked very closely with the Clarington East Food Bank. We went with tablets and barcode scanners because it made the system as fast as tallying on paper, while still giving us so much more information and data, because now you can track individual items instead of before, I believe, you were just tallying up the points.
We were tallying up the points if a volunteer remembered that the person took a special item. For instance, our hygiene products, we don't put out every kind of hygiene product every month. Well, if a volunteer forgot to write down that somebody got dish soap, the next time a different volunteer shopped with that neighbor, they might get 2. That's where the inequality comes in for our neighbors. Now with this electronic system, it shows red. So immediately, both the neighbor and the volunteer can see that they've already had that this month. It's made it less confrontational. The beauty of the system is right in the bottom corner, you're able to see those limits. So the shopper and the neighbor can see, okay, before they even start, they've had wipes this month. They had the monthly special. They've already had their meat or milk. Our neighbors keep track of their points. So it's not unusual for their second visit for them to come in and say, I know I have 26 points left. And you pull up their form on the tablet, and yet they've got 26 points left. They consistently say how much they love a shopping model first and foremost, but they love the ease of this system. Speaking of the extra details and the waste, that has been huge. By the time Christmas came, we had a really good idea of what our top items were because of Dan's system. So we're able to run a report and see each month our top 10 items. And over December, we did an item every day. We did the 12 days of Christmas, but we geared it strictly to those top 10 items that we knew from the system. This has also really helped us with buy-in. If I do a monthly report, but I can look and determine how much juice has gone off to date. This number 42 to minus 97, they're comparing it to a full month, and we're only in the first 2 days. This system has allowed us to buy to our target goals, which saves us on storage, and or when we know there's a sale, we can look and go, okay, we go through on average 150 juices a month. and we can buy for how many months storage we have. The information from this report goes on our website. We no longer see a lot of donations of stuff we don't need. And the education within our community has been wonderful. So we can have a volunteer can add a neighbor. They click up here, click cart, add Jane for Jane Doe, and select, and their cart is already in. And we'll know when they're shopping, when they're in the waiting room.
And this pops up instantly on the tablets too, so someone with a tablet and a barcode scanner can then go help Jane Doe shop. And we get live updates between the two of us.
And it also calculates, you see in the screen here, the weight. I can take that information, we record it in a file, which is then inputted right into Link to Feed.
Yes, and you no longer have to do it on a scale anymore because you just have to weigh the items once. So you know how much a small soup weighs or whatever like that, and then we just calculate it for you, and you have a close enough number for Link to Feed.
So my name's Tracy. I'm an assistant to the executive director at Clarington East Food Bank. What we're using is our system to add donations. You pick it up, you put it on your scale. 14.25 is your weight. So you add your donation, pick who your donor is, your donation type. Then you can change it from kilograms to pounds at this point, and you put in your weight. So 14.25. Add to your donation. And how you know that this all went through, go back to your donation cart. You'll see Foodland, regular donation, 14.25. Now there's no paper. It's all here. Foodland calls us. They know exactly how much weight that they've given us.
One of the other reports that I have loved is the points report. Because we allocate how many points each people have, it shows me the family count, the average points spent. So I can see here that our single person right now is spending on average 30 points. So it helps us evaluate if our neighbors are getting enough food or not enough. So far, only one family over the limit. Last month, we had 5 families over the limit. So that's setting off an alarm for me now to go, okay, we need to evaluate that and start looking more closely. Who are the families? What are the circumstances? And do we need to really evaluate if it goes up to 45 points? I did have 2 neighbors that came up to me and approached me and said, Susan, you know, I don't really think I'm getting enough points. And so I was able to pull up these reports and go through them and look at their particular profile and see if they were using all their points over several months, but also look at other households of the same size. And then I was able to go back to them with that data. So when they felt validated, that they were heard, 2, they understood the system, and 3, they were comfortable with my answer because they saw that I had data to back it up. There's no second guessing anymore.
Yes. And I think some of the other issues that we helped solve too, from what I remember from the development process, is we kind of tied everything under one roof. So your volunteer management is in there too, so they track their hours and all that. You have a slideshow system where you can display things in your waiting area, and you also have that extra visibility into what people have ordered in the past.
Tracking policies with volunteers is a challenge. And with the standards of excellence, it's become more paramount that, okay, we need those confidentiality signed off on. We need the Food Bank Code of Ethics signed off on. With this system, I can click on the eye and see I can view the policy, I can click on the review status and see which of my volunteers have reviewed their policy. So for instance, our confidentiality agreement, I can look through here and see, okay, 2 of my volunteers are outstanding. I can do a request review. I can make note of it so next time they're in, I can remind them as well. They would get an email saying, hey, remember.
Each volunteer has their own unique account. They can sign off on these confidentiality agreements anywhere in the world, and they can view them anywhere in the world. They just have to log in with their volunteer accounts, and they have unique access to different policies. So it's not like one policy you uploaded, it's available to everyone. You pick who it's available to.
And there's shifts here. They can see their upcoming shifts. They can sign up for shifts. Green indicates there's shifts available and what time their shift is. So I could sign up on June 24th for a shopper, hit sign up, and then I can go over to my shifts and see that I'm signed up, how many hours, and again, this is going to be great for our donors to see how many hours it takes to run the food bank. And I can always put updates up here for the volunteers, so I could put in this month's specials, or we're going to be closed Canada Day is what I should put up. The volunteers are really getting behind this system now. John, that you saw, 85, we got it like that for signing up for his volunteer shifts. So.
Yeah, it's great to see that it's easy to adopt. That was always the goal. Obviously, we've been working towards making the system as easy to pick up as possible, while also maintaining that level of security and confidentiality and privacy that's required when working with the food bank.
It's been a great system.
It's been fun to build it, and it's been great working with the Clarington East Food Bank on the entire process.
Yeah, no, likewise.